2024, a battleground year.
The year the nation decides.
As the parties gear up their campaigns for the next general election.
Who will be left standing when the British people make one of the biggest decisions of their lives?
Who will rise?
And who will fall?
Let's find out together.
For every moment, the highs, the lows, the twists and turns.
We'll be with you for every step of this journey.
In 2024, GB News is Britain's election channel.
8:41 morning to you. Let's go through the headlines today with writer and columnist Emma Wolfe and our favourite showbiz reporter Stephanie Tetchy. Good morning to you both. Stephanie, can we have a look at this? It's in the Sunday Mail, Mail on Sunday, I should say. Sort of do-gooders, if you like, on a plane who are persuaded to stop the deportation of someone who turns out to be a Jamaican gangster.
Yeah, I think obviously when it comes to the topic of deportation, it's a hot topic of contention. But this story is just absurd.
It shouldn't be. The man was a criminal.
It doesn't make any sense to me. He was here illegally. He has got 2 serious gun crime offences, a host of drug convictions. He literally shot at someone at broad daylight. He was set to be deported back to Jamaica, and these do-goodies, they stopped him by all standing up on the plane so the plane couldn't move, so he got saved from being deported. This was spearheaded by a Cambridge graduate called Hannah Gaffrey, and they had received advice from Detention Action, which is a left-wing human rights charity. And I just think this is such a foolish action, because that same man could potentially be holding a gun at you one day, and you would have saved him from leaving this country. You would have saved him, to remain in this country when he's clearly guilty of so many horrendous crimes.
And they didn't know that.
No, they didn't.
I mean, are these activists, so we're hearing so much about activists now, are they all balmy, or don't they do their research? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing standing up for the, the downtrodden and the, but I mean, this is absolutely ludicrous. We have to uphold the right of law, and it just seems like a very, very unwise thing to have done.
I think they just hear, for people like that, they hear so many cases of people who are being deported in more sad situations, and they think that it just cuts across the board in every single situation, and that's not the case. So you can imagine James Cleverly is furious about this, and the government is trying to examine new measures to stop passengers blocking deportation flights. Yeah. And to speed up removals.
It's surprising as well that they were on a kind of regular chartered flight. I would have thought that they would be in some kind of special, I don't know, special security measures or something. But the fact that this passenger was just on a flight with other passengers, it's quite alarming, actually.
Oh, it's just absolutely crackers, really. There's just no sense to it. Emma, what's all this about children can't learn to read on a screen?
This, I think, is a really, really important story. This is a former head teacher who's been writing in the Express saying that she's very, very concerned about the use of screens, the use of apps regularly in schools. It's something I feel incredibly strongly about. My 3-year-old will not be getting a phone, or at least a smartphone, or at least laptop and being online until, well, as long as I can delay it. Yeah. I know lots of people with kids my age have their kids have iPads and tablets and all of that, and I'm a Luddite on this, and I want him to, be reading books and learning how to write and things. And this head teacher is saying, look, the constant use of screens and apps and online learning is, yes, there is a place for it. But when you're doing that in maths and English, pupils are simply not learning how to write with their as in handwriting. They're not learning how to spell. They're not learning how to actually the basic skills.
Is that an evolutionary thing, though? Is that what's happening to us?
Well, sadly, yes. But this is not. It isn't just as simple as a bit of online learning. Of course, that's good. But when you actually have fun maths apps, which are just kind of whizzy and colourful and all of that, children love that so much more. They don't need to then actually learn to write with their hands, Stephen. You have a generation of children who will not be able to read and write because they don't need to.
But my issue is with that, and look, don't get me wrong, I'm with you on that. I like to write and textures of books and all the rest of it. But are we heading towards, you know, within the next 100 years, people who will never need to know how to write?
That's incredibly sad to me.
I don't write very much, actually.
I know. I was going to say, I bet we've all noticed, the fact that when you're writing, handwriting, which I still do, and I'm a writer, you feel kind of, why isn't it
feels clunky.
You ever feel it's not completing my word, it's not doing predictive text. Weird things like that, because we're so used to just typing with our thumbs.
Yeah.
But also other things like, you know, my great aunt is Virginia Woolf. I love looking at her manuscripts and diaries and things like that. We won't have any of that archive from writers in the future.
I'll tell you what, in terms of
we
learning...
will never have those handwritten
Learning
documents.
off screen, though, what I struggle with, I mean, I couldn't read a book off a laptop screen or a phone screen or anything like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't go into my brain in the same way.
No, and lots of people like me, I you know, still prefer to read a book rather than a Kindle or whatever.
I don't know why that is. Why is it that it doesn't register?
There's something physical about a book, being able to, for me, you know, you kind of open it, turn the page down, better not turn the page down, but I do. Kind of have it beside you in bed, whereas when you're electronic, I often find that you're flipping between...
Is it because you need to use multiple senses for stuff to register?
Or just that the screen isn't the same? It's not the same experience, is it?
No, I mean, that's why they had trouble when they first brought out the Kindle or whatever. They and it was shiny and it was like reading off of your laptop.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to have a more matte look.
Yeah.
And they spent a lot of time studying that very thing, that people didn't like reading off a screen that was bright and white.
I don't like reading off a screen. I like physical papers, and I think we're just creating this zombie nation of kids who are just going to be behind the screen, just constantly just absorbing information there. But they are learning earlier, like they are picking up things earlier thanks to computers and laptops and phones and stuff, more than my generation did. So there are...
handwriting.
Oh,
here we go.
Actually,
that's not bad.
Actually, that's quite nice, But I used to have lovely handwriting, but I haven't anymore because I just don't write.
Yeah, I mean... and
type, but
it's a
don't I?
YouGov survey. It's not just me saying, oh, this is bad. YouGov survey estimates 2 million children are behind in talking, because I think the pandemic and lockdown has massively impacted their social skills, but also understanding words, knowing how to spell things, because they don't need to spell, and literally handwriting, as we were saying.
But this all comes down to parents. I do believe it's up to parents to say, you know what, as you're saying, you're not going to have a phone, you're going to spend time reading and writing. So I do think it's the parents who need to establish the law for their kids.
Well, yeah.
It's very hard to fight against it, though, when they're getting all this in nursery.
But when I was a kid, it was a matter of... I mean, you were taught at school to have perfect handwriting, and it was a matter of pride. And then if you wanted to learn to type, you had to learn to type. You had to have typing lessons. My kids just self-taught and type faster than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's weird. Maybe we will become a
But
society
also
that doesn't need to
watching a
write.
little one, like a 2 or 3 year old, on a screen, they know how to do everything. They swipe and all these things that, do you remember at the beginning, we had to learn? You know, it's very, very
The thing that
instinctive with them.
irritates me is when adults send me texts with slang. That I think there's no excuses when they say, like, thanks, like THX and stuff like that. I find that quite... gets on my nerves.
Bear that in mind. Stephanie, tell me why I should never buy my cheese from the Tetchy Creamery.
I think you should one day. But the thing is, you know, when it comes to shopping now, like consumers, we like that transparency when it comes to buying foods. But now ministers are under pressure because they're trying to ban supermarkets from hoodwinking consumers. So, for instance, you could be getting your groceries and it says it's from Dixon Farms. So people think, oh, this is an organic British supplier. Well, that's just a made-up name, and they're saying that basically by doing that, you could be actually not be getting your food from a British supplier. It could be coming from Morocco, it could be coming from Chile. Like in this article I read, it says Tesco has 8 farms that it uses on their branding, which is totally made up.
They don't exist.
No, they don't exist, and I think there does need to be that transparency when you are buying your food.
That's outrageous. You do get a sense that it comes from somewhere homegrown.
Yeah,
when it says something farm.
But
You feel like you're supporting farmers. And
But is that not just plain old marketing?
Of course. I mean, they can call... One would have thought they can call it what they want. Anyone can use any name that they want.
You just see, like, a picturesque farm on the front of some veggies and you think, OK, yeah, that's going to be a good investment. And no, it's not.
My corner shop stocks Happy Eggs.
Oh, yes, Happy Eggs.
Yeah, I've got no idea at all whether or not the chickens that actually lay are happy.
To be fair, with Happy Eggs, they do say, you know, our hens are treated nicely and free range and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, do you believe that?
Yes, I do, because I mean, we buy Happy Eggs, actually, but it's because they do So, I mean,
They're bona fide.
I don't know how much checking there is on any of this. I mean, organic stuff, it can be 98% non-organic and then a little bit of organic.
Just seeing that one word organic, you think, yeah, I'm buying the right product.
Can be bio,
I don't buy the organic stuff.
No?
No, because it's more expensive.
Oh, but it's better for you.
Is it?
It's organic.
Ah, there you go. You see, I'm not convinced.
Just to visit, Happy Eggs, it says here on the Happy Egg website, the Happy Eggs are produced to the British Lion Code of Practice. And that's it. Maybe no more than that, particularly.
I remember a brand years ago, really, when I was a child, and it was like Happy Shopper or something. It's about sort of
Happy Shopper.
So 8p for like a can of beans. It was really like basic.
It was
the basic. Yeah, you would be.
You would be happy, yeah.
You can get anything for that nowadays.
I remember
Super
Happy
cheap.
Shoppers.
Yeah.
How long have we got? Let's have a look. I can't imagine you being a big EastEnders fan.
No, I don't watch television. I don't watch television.
Do you not watch any television?
No, we don't own a television. No, don't.
But hold on a minute.
Hang on, you're on the telly.
Grew up without a telly, never, and I do telly now.
So you've never watched it. You've never had that experience, really.
No. I mean, I've gone to people's houses and seen a television.
But if you've never grown up with it,
no, I never watched EastEnders or Neighbours or anything like that. No.
Not one episode.
I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I know it goes. Da, 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 da,
Yeah, well done.
I wonder if that changes your outlook, because a lot of our time is spent talking about, what are you watching at the minute? What are you binging? What do you get sort of hooked into? Because you get drawn into these dramas.
I don't at all.
No, but that's interesting, because it was your life experience. It's actually probably quite different to most other people's.
I think it was different at school. I remember everybody rushing home from school to watch Neighbours, 5:35, and we just didn't. We just literally went home, me and my brothers and sisters, and didn't have a television. So it was
Why
much
do you think
starker
your
when you were a
parents
kid.
decided that? Not to have a TV at home?
Because we grew up in a house of books, publishers, writers, that was it.
What about your kids then now?
No, absolutely no way are we having a telly. Ludo will not have a telly, and...
We were very friendly with a family who would not have a telly and always sort of boasted that their sons didn't watch television.
Yeah.
They used to come round to my house and watch it.
And if my little one sees a screen, he's completely entranced.
Yeah.
So I'm not, I know he's going to see bits of YouTube and whatever, but no, I don't want a world where...
So you haven't seen this new drama that's actually made a real difference about the post office scandal?
No, I do want to watch that, though, and you can watch ITV online, and I do want to watch that because I think it's interesting. But I've also read acres of newsprint about it, which people who watch the drama have.
But the drama was brilliant.
Yeah, no, it does sound wonderful. And I love Toby Jones.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Oh, well, on that bombshell, we haven't actually got time to talk about Patsy Palmer coming back as Bianca Jackson, but there you go.
She is this spring.
She is.
Ricky!
We're out of time, ladies. Thank you.
Thank
Here's
you,
the weather.
guys. Thank you.